This is a CPU water block from EKWB. As you can see, there's a lot of build-up in there, so we'll be cleaning that out. And in order to do that, we'll flip on over to the other side. And the first thing we will need to do is to clean up this thermal paste residue. So we'll lay this down and use like a tissue paper or some kind, and just wipe most of it out, and try to make it as clean as you can. You may use multiple tissue papers in order to get it fully clean. So now we got that clean, nice and shiny. Now we will require these two Allen keys to unscrew all of those screws. So now the bigger Allen key, and there's another thin one. I'm not sure with the exact number of these, but they do come in the pack, in the box when you purchase this water block. There are 3 actually, I think, which they come. This is the most thickest one. I think this one goes on the back side, I think. Yeah, when you screw this on the back plate, this goes over there. And the middle sized one is for these 4. Okay, so now I got all the screws unscrewed, and before flipping it over, I suspect that there might be some water in there, so I'll just lay a tissue paper down underneath. So if there is any, we'll collect that. I'll flip it over and just try to remove this now. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, this just came right out. The LED strip just came out. I don't think I got it on camera. I think I just messed the camera angle up on that. Just zoom out a bit. Yeah, I think that's better. So I got this RGB strip out. Yeah, it seems pretty dry. I don't think I spilled any water on that. Okay, I just had to use some force and it just came right out. I didn't have to remove anything else. Okay, that was easy. Now I'll just get these O-rings out and clean them, these O-rings separately with some soapy water, and try to use some mild soapy water while washing these things out. Okay, this O-ring is really hard to get out. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it in there and just clean it up like that. Okay, so do this main thing now. Suspecting this should also just come out with some force, or maybe not. Most of this residue just comes out really easy. The one which is built up on top of it. Okay. These 2 bushels. Yeah, this just comes out really easy. But the main challenge is to get this out, which is actually the main thing that we need to clean, because you see all that gunk and all that stuff built up in there. Maybe I'll just try to use a screwdriver and push it in. Okay, that worked. That actually worked pretty fine. It was just holding there due to the residue. So I'll get this out really carefully. Oh yeah, look at that. It's all blocked. Look at how much stuff is built in there. Just look at that, like, what is that? I think that all that residue came from the radiators, I did clean the radiators twice, but I don't think it was good enough. I rinsed them with distilled water twice, but I think there was still a bunch of residue in the. Okay, so I'll just get this washed out under running water real quick, and I'll be right back. So I'm back, and I filled this bowl up with some warm soapy water. I just put in like 2 drops of dishwash soap in there, and I also brought this new toothbrush. So we'll just dip it in there and just gently use the brush in that motion in the direction all those little jets. These things, like you might see, they're going in that direction. So I'll use my brush in that direction. These are there to restrict the flow of water. So in order to restrict the flow of water, they make these things. And when we restrict the flow of water, the water basically moves a bit slow, so it has time to pick up all the heat and bring it over to the radiators. And try not to use any abrasive chemicals in this, like alcohol or something like that. Just use some warm soapy water and we should be fine. I'll just rinse this out and clean this with a toothbrush a bunch of times. Okay, so I think we got it pretty clean. I know it looks a bit too dirty on camera, but in real life it doesn't look that like dirt residue on this. I'll just try to run it under some fresh water now to get all of that soap out, and I'll be right back after doing that. So guys, I'm back after rinsing it out with some fresh water under the tap. And I actually noticed after rinsing it, you might see around this area there's still some residue around those edges which is still left. So I'll use this toothpick and just go around the edges and get it out. Okay, so I think now I got it pretty clean. I'll just rinse it out with some soapy water and a brushing once again. So now it's pretty clean. Yeah, I think it's fully clean now. I'll just rinse it out with some fresh water again and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I rinsed it out with some fresh water and it seems pretty clean now. So we'll just keep that aside. Now we'll move on over to this plate and we'll do the same thing. We'll wash it off with some soapy water and a brush, and then after that with some. So now we got that clean, so I'll just go over and rinse it off with some clean water. So now I also got that pretty clean. Now we'll move on over to this part. And we need to clean both the sides on this. And this is the side that really matters, which needs to be super clean, at least in the looks wise and technically wise, technicality, basically these grooves need to be super clean to keep your PC nice and clean, and this mostly how it looks, but it's also good to keep all your parts clean. It's always best to keep them all clean. Okay, so now I got this part pretty clean, so now I'll move on over to the other part. And one thing that actually helped cleaning this part was not actually the bristles on the back side of the toothbrush. This rubber thing, these little tiny uh, bristles of rubber, these actually helped out a lot while cleaning it. So it's a quick tip: you can use the back side of the toothbrush if the front doesn't work that well. So now we'll do the same step on the back side. Okay, so I think these are the best results that we can get. Now I'll just rinse this off with some fresh water. So I just rinsed it off with some fresh water, and I think we got some pretty good results. So now we'll move on over to the this plastic part over here. I think it's acrylic, most probably. Just dip it in water. I don't even think I'll even have to use the brush on this. Yes, I'll just use my fingers on this because I really don't want to get any scratches on this thing. Just rub it down with my fingers, because for the most part it's pretty clean. Guess I'll use the back side of the brush to get these inside grooves. But for the most part it's like pretty clean. Most of the residue was built upon the metal parts. Okay, so now I'll just get that rinsed off with some fresh water. Okay, so now as we have got all the parts cleaned up, now we just use some tissue paper to just dry them off. Just readjust my camera. We just basically dry all of these parts out. And just be very careful at this part. Try not rubbing in the tissue paper too much, because some of it might get torn off and it might get stuck in your lip. Okay, so I think we got that clean for the most part. All of these lining which you see over here will be hidden behind the o-ring, so I don't think we will be able to tell a difference whether it was a bit dirty. Now we'll place these o-rings on their spots, like just like that. There's a little groove in there in which we just place them. Just push it in, and on this part, okay, so I need to first align this up straight. Okay, so this part, or to actually make sure that it's straight, you align this LGA 1700 with the LGA 1700, and that means it's straight. And now lift that up. Now you know that's the top part, that's the bottom part. And just like that, align this 1700 also like that, and just place it in so the top is that, bottom is that, just like that. Okay, so let's first actually place this in. So we go on over to the back side. Be carefully. Okay, maybe not like that. Okay, yeah, that worked. And now we'll place the screws in diagonally, and I'll tighten those screws. Okay, so I got those screws in now, but remember, don't tighten them up a bit, not like too much, just keep them a bit loose, so it's still shaking, you might see. So why is that? Because we need to place all the screws in and then tighten them in a diagonal pattern. Right now I'm just placing the screws in. Okay, so we'll use a thinner Allen key for the other screws, and I'll also screw all those screws, and also not very tight. For now we'll leave them loose, and then we will tighten them diagonally. Okay, so we got all of those screws in, and because we didn't actually screw these two screws yet, because we need to place a RGB module in. To do that, first we'll thread the wire through this hole, just like that. Pull the wire, keep on pulling it, and carefully place it in, just like that. Should just fit right in. Now we'll go to the other side and screw in these two screws, and again, not too tight, just tight enough to keep it in. Okay, so now we got all the screws in. So now we'll start from the main block. We'll tighten these screws diagonally. So I'll tighten that up a little, and tighten that up a little, and we'll keep on doing this until it's tight. And do not over tight it, just tighten it enough so that it doesn't leak. Just tighten enough with your hand, but not too tight. Just keep it like in just that right amount, so you don't break the plexiglass. You actually, what happens is, this acrylic or this plexiglass material, it tends to actually break under too much stress. So just be very careful with this. And you also don't want to under tighten, so water might leak out. So you have to tighten it in just the right amount. You may also get one of their screwdrivers. They have one of those special screwdrivers. It just tightens these screws up to like a certain point. You may also get that screwdriver, but that wasn't really available while I was trying to do this, so I didn't end up buying it. And the other website it took like expected like 2-3 weeks of delivery, and it didn't really had that much of. Okay, so those 4 screws are tightened now. So now we'll move on over to these small screws, and we'll do the same thing going diagonally for all these screws. Okay, so now all of these screws are nice and tight, and this water block is ready. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Bye bye.